Welcome to Storycraft Studio. Today we'll be turning this Blondie doll into Steenee from Pokemon. I designed a really cute 3-layer dress with a puffed skirt, as well as some really cute pigtails. I'm really proud how they all came out. Also, I want to mention that I'm trying to change a few things about this channel, which you may have noticed. And I've also got an actual microphone instead of kind of yelling at my computer, which didn't really work, but hopefully this setup will be better. We start by gathering supplies and 3 layers of Liquitex Matte Medium. Other artists will use matte varnish or Mr. Super Clear, but those don't really work for me at this time. I would love to use Mr. Super Clear, but it's not available where I live. But to the face itself, I start by blushing the cheeks. I love blushing the cheeks. I'm not very good at it yet, but I love adding the color because it looks so cute. Then I do the lips and the makeup before going in with pencil and doing the first sketch. Here we have the first layer all sealed up. Now I have to tell you right now, I wanted to try to do the whole thing in pencil like a lot of artists do because I want to be able to do that, but because of the humidity we've had around here while I was trying to do the face, the pencil started to take up the sealant and it was a mess, so I had to go in with paints. One day I want to be able to just do a really nice face up with just pencils, but I think there needs to be a lot of things that change in my supplies, and I don't even know before I can do that. Also on this face up, we see the madness. I decided to try and use Sharpies. I don't know, it felt, I don't know. I was really sick of not being able to control the paintbrush because of my tremor, and I wanted to be able to do this on camera, so I figured, hey, why not use Sharpies? They get the color really, really well, and if I work with my wet paintbrush too, I'm able to get some really good stuff, and it actually does work. I also got a really good gradient on the eye, which I wanted to get, well, not the eyeball, the eyelashes, because Steenee, the actual Pokemon, has pink eyelashes, and I thought about that, but I didn't want it to do that because her eyes are pink, and it would be too close, especially since I wanted to add a lot of detail to the eye. So I decided to do a gradient, and the Sharpies worked really well for that. It was crazy, but I'm really glad I did it. Also, of those of you who are terrified, like, you're staining the face, it's really weird. I had another doll that I was doing the exact same time with the exact same tools, just using Sharpies to do a lot of the details, and the face came out super wrong, so I'm gonna have to redo that. But when I took off the old face, the Sharpie didn't stain it. The chalk pastels, on the other hand, all the contouring that I did on the face is still there, but it's the slightly wrong color. It's so weird. And the paint on the lips, her lips are like permanently stained pink. It's so weird. I did not expect the paint and the pastels to stain it more than the Sharpies, but that's what happened. It was so weird, but I'm going to be covering up those areas again anyway, so it won't be a problem. But on this doll, it works perfectly. I get really good shape on the eyebrows. The eyes look great. Well, they're not perfectly even, but if you talk to people about that kind of stuff, they tell you that eyes are not, one side of your face is slightly different from the other side of your face. That's why when you take photographs, you look really bad, but in a mirror you look really good, because in a mirror you're seeing yourself I don't know how to explain this, but you see yourself in the mirror, but then you take a picture and you're seeing the reverse of the mirror, so what you're used to is not the same. So the slight differences kind of mess with your head. You don't even realize it probably, because I didn't until it was pointed out to me. But that's the thing, and I am rambling. Let's stop the ramble so you can watch the doll. So for a while now, I've been going back and forth with the Sharpies and the paints and trying to get that level. I don't usually work this hard at dolls because I get really frustrated. I usually make the mistake of trying to do all the face up in one day, so when it gets to the detail part, I've run myself dry. But this time I waited after the sketch to do this, and so I was able to do the detail work early in the morning when I had lots of energy and just sit down and do it. So these are the best eyes I've ever done on a doll. Really. I mean, I've done some really cute ones, but these ones came out so great because I was able to put a lot of detail in, and I'm really proud of them. Her face is not as uber cute as I wanted, but it's really good. And I'm really happy with that. And now we're coming to the end of me working on her, putting in the last details, and then I'll put in the eye shines. All the details are done now, and I'm just going in with Liquitex High Gloss. I forget what it's called right now, but I just got it, and it works it makes so much better than my resin that I was using. And then we have the finished face, which is so cute, and I'm so happy. It starts with brushing out wefts with a pet brush to untangle all the yarn. We're doing our yarn wefts. In the background I have my 2 Pokemon and one of my Pokeballs for company. They're really old. Don't ask me how old. It's embarrassing. But the wefts, after I brush them out, I hit up with a flat iron to make them all shiny and soft. Love that. To cut down on drying time, I'm using the Hextian hot glue weft making method. These will be the ponytail wefts, and this works scary well. You burn yourself, but it works. With those wefts, I start wrapping them out around just a straight pin, which I will stab into the head. I got this idea from Anastasia Customs. She's a French doll artist who does a lot of her. She's got a more permanent view on doll wigs, which I decided to try, and I really like it. My process needs work, but it came out so well. To make the main part of the wig, I use Anastasia Customs' other part of her wig making process, where I just use glue and the yarn wefts. It's really counterintuitive not to make a wig cap or just glue it straight on the head, which is terrifying. But this, you're basically making the wig cap out of the glue, and it works. It really works really well if you put in enough glue, so you've got a good strong base, and it weirds me out that it works. It's so not something I think about, that Mod Podge can just hold itself together when you put yarn in there, and it's really weird, but it works, and I'm really and I like the results. I'm gonna try and get better at making it really even so that parts and stuff will work better, but it works. The really counterintuitive part of this, though, is that to get the end style, I just pull the wefts back after I've glued them one way and glue them down. So that I'm not pulling the hair into shape, I'm not shaping it, I'm just pulling it back and gluing it down, and it works. It just works so well, because I don't have to worry about, is there loose hairs, am I pulling too hard, is it wrong? It's just, you glue it down, it's down, and then I'm gonna just plug the pigtails in, and the hair is perfect. I still need to work on my process to get it absolutely perfect, but as my first time trying this particular method, it worked amazing. After measuring the doll, I made a real simple pattern which I cut out of pink and white satin. These were mostly in strips to ruffle. I then sealed them using a lighter and candle and sewed them on the dress, leaving off the top ruffle because I've decided it was fine. Then I sewed up the back and added a really cute jewel. This is the watercolor paper mache method to make the boots, doing paper in layers with glue to build up the strength needed before cutting them off with an X-Acto knife and scissors, and cutting out soles out of foam. 2, of course. Then I sealed them in this pink satin from before. Some doll artists can cut out a pattern for the exact amount of fabric they need to cover a boot. I am not one of them. I cut out a swatch, wrap the thing and glue it on with Fabri-Tac glue, and then for certain color I added jewels and a jeweled hail to finish it off. They come out crazy good. With all the pieces finished, now we can put her in her dress, her boots, and put those pigtails in, and see what we've come up with. I hope you think she's as cute as I do. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching as much as I did making this doll. And if you want to keep up with what I'm doing, just hit the subscribe button. And also check out my previous videos. And watch me on Instagram to see what I'm up to, because I'm always posting drawings and progress shots up there. Well, aloha, see you around!